If June 19th, June 20th, or June 21st lands, and you feel that strange mix of loyalty and irritation in the same breath, you're not becoming a worse person. You're becoming more honest about what your devotion has been costing you. Because there's a kind of pressure that only shows up in tradition windows. It's not just busy. It's not just family stuff. It's the invisible pull of expectation. Who pays? Who hosts? Who shows up early? Who cleans up late? Who keeps the peace? Who sends the money? Who answers the group chat? Who absorbs the mood so nobody else has to? Let me ask you the question that tells the truth quickly. When you say yes this week, do you feel warm? Or do you feel trapped? Some of you are the dependable one in a way that doesn't get celebrated anymore. It gets assumed. You're the one who remembers the dates, covers the gap, brings the extra, pays the difference, and makes it look effortless because you don't want to be difficult. And over time, your generosity stops feeling like a choice and starts feeling like a tax. That's what this cultural window highlights. Commitment versus depletion, family obligation economics, and the difference between devotion and self-abandonment. Here's the part most people miss. The issue isn't that you care. The issue is that the exchange became invisible. When the exchange is invisible, nobody corrects it. Not because they're evil, because the system keeps working, and it keeps working on your back. So the lens today is value exchange dynamics, the pattern of what you give, what you receive, what you tolerate, and what you call normal. Historically, exchange systems were never only about money. In early trade networks and communal economies, reciprocity wasn't sentimental, it was structural. When one side carried the cost repeatedly, the group didn't call that love. They called it imbalance, because imbalance destabilized survival. That's the root of this lens. Overgiving becomes depletion economics. And depletion economics always demands correction. You can see this in modern family systems, where one person becomes the default sponsor. They cover the meal because it's easier than the awkward conversation. They send the money because they don't want anyone to struggle. They handle the logistics because no one else will do it right. Then, quietly, they start resenting the very people they're trying to protect. You can see it in relationships where one partner carries the emotional labor and the financial planning. They track bills, anticipate needs, manage the calendar, and still feel unappreciated because the other person experiences stability as normal, not as something being generated by someone's effort. You can see it in business too, especially for people who were raised to believe their value is proved through service. They discount, extend, add extras, and help their clients into a model that doesn't sustain them. Their work is good. Their numbers are stressed. Not because they lack skill, because the exchange is mispriced. Now, because this is a Dragon Boat Festival window, here's the core codex overlay in one tight frame. In the Chinese zodiac layer, the point is not prediction. It's cultural rhythm awareness. Certain windows emphasize collective duty, honor, endurance, and legacy. Those themes amplify provider identity, which makes responsible people overfunction without noticing. When the cultural field leans toward tradition, People confuse obligation with love. The correction isn't rebellion, it's conscious reciprocity. The question becomes, what's being honored and who is being spent? Core codex overlay complete. So what do you do with that? You start by naming the hidden invoices, not in a speech, in your own clarity. Notice where your yes is automatic. Notice where you pay to prevent discomfort. Notice where you overgive to avoid being judged. Those are not random habits. Those are old agreements you keep renewing. Then choose one boundary that preserves devotion without self-abandonment. That might look like contributing a fixed amount and not rescuing beyond it. It might look like offering time but not money, or money but not emotional labor. It might look like attending for a shorter window instead of collapsing your whole week to prove you care. And if you feel guilty, that's not a sign you're wrong. It's a sign you're changing the economy of the relationship. When people are used to your overfunctioning, your balance will feel like distance at first. But balance is not distance. Balance is sustainability. Here's the future state that's actually worth building. You still show up. You still care. But you don't feel that private anger afterwards. You don't feel that quiet panic about your bank account. You don't feel that resentment that poisons love. Your generosity becomes clean again because it comes from choice, not pressure. Reflective question. Where has tradition trained you to overpay? Financially, emotionally, or with your time? And what would change if you gave from devotion instead of guilt? Any devotion that requires self-abandonment is not love. It's a slow financial and emotional withdrawal from your own life, and the debt always gets collected somewhere. If this named what you've been swallowing, share it with the person who always carries the invisible load, and subscribe for more pattern-based clarity you can actually use. This is the Prophecy Pulse.